If you've ever felt like learning is just this never-ending cycle of cramming facts into your brain, only to completely forget them the minute the test is over, well, you are definitely in the right place. Welcome, focused learners, to our explainer. Today, we're going to take the dreaded struggle of rote memorization and transform it into an accelerated, collaborative quest.
So think about this for a second. What if learning felt less like memorization and way more like an escape room? Our source material introduces us to Captain Spark, who acts as a guide dropping students into these virtual escape room challenges. And instead of quietly staring at textbooks, students are pointing, they're debating, and they're cracking puzzles together. It completely flips the script on traditional education.
Here is our mission map for today's explainer. We'll start by escaping rote memorization, unlocking the core, and building your expert toolkit. Then we'll team up, think deep, look at accelerating everyone, and finally, prep you for your next mission. Section 1. Escaping rote memorization, moving past the memorization trap. Our absolute main goal here is to stop simply parroting facts and instead unlock true active comprehension. Sure, rote memorization might help you pass tomorrow's quiz by cramming, but active comprehension, that builds a foundation of knowledge that actually sticks with you. It's literally the difference between just memorizing the steps to bake a cake and actually understanding why the baking powder makes it rise.
Section 2. Unlocking the core, finding your master key.
You know, every subject is packed with an overwhelming amount of information. But there's always a master key. We call it the 20% core. These are the absolutely essential concepts that, once you grasp them, effortlessly unlock the remaining 80% of the material. By hunting down this 20%, you stop wasting your time on the fluff and you focus purely on those foundational pillars.
So, how do we decode that core? Well, our first tool is the mental model map. This is where you anchor complex, abstract ideas to things you already know in the real world. Instead of learning a textbook concept in a total vacuum, you deliberately tether it to your existing knowledge. It's like comparing the flow of electricity to water running through a garden hose. Suddenly, the abstract becomes incredibly concrete.
Section 3. Your expert toolkit, strategies for active comprehension.
Okay, next up in your toolkit is a real game changer, the Feynman technique. It's a brilliant three-step strategy. First, take a complex idea and try to simplify it. Imagine explaining it to a 5-year-old, or, maybe your golden retriever. Second, as you do this, you will inevitably stumble, and that's a good thing. It immediately highlights your exact knowledge gaps. Finally, you just go back to the source material to fix those specific gaps.
To round out the solo side of things, we've got the growth tracker. And look, this is not about agonizing over grades, not at all. It's about tracking your own thinking process. You predict how well you understand a concept, you review the actual real-world results of your learning, and then you calibrate your future strategy based on that. It keeps you honest and ensures you are always moving forward.
Section 4. Team up, think deep. The multiplier effect of collaboration. Our source material brings in Captain Spark here, who points out something crucial. Dynamic teams are powerful precisely because they combine incredibly diverse strengths. These aren't just random groups. Teachers specifically design them based on what you're learning and what individual students actually need. By bringing all those different perspectives to the table, your team can tackle tough problems together, which builds shared perseverance.
And this is exactly why cooperating completely crushes competing. Think about it. When you're just competing against each other for the highest grade, the classroom becomes rigid, it's stressful, and you completely lose out on peer support. But when you cooperate, learning actually becomes joyful. You share ideas, offer hints, and those positive, relaxed emotions drastically speed up how fast your brain processes information.
Section 5. Accelerating everyone. How collaboration serves all students.
Let's say you're struggling with a concept. Working in a group triggers this amazing thing called just-in-time support. Going back to that escape room analogy, if you're stuck on a clue and a teammate gives you a tiny nudge in the right direction, you don't stay stuck for 20 minutes. That is the magic of peer collaboration. A perfectly timed hint gets you instantly unstuck.
Now you might be wondering, what if you're an advanced learner? Why even bother with group work? Well, explaining a concept to a classmate isn't just charity work, it's practically a cheat code for your own mastery. It forces you to put that Feynman test into action. By simplifying complex ideas for someone else, you're solidifying your own understanding and developing vital communication skills, which, by the way, are the true hallmark of experts.
When you combine the 20% core, mental model maps, and the Feynman technique,
and then you multiply all of that through a dynamic team, the results are just incredible. It perfectly captures the spirit of this whole cycle. As Captain Sparks put it, together you can solve bigger puzzles and think deeper than you can alone.
Section 6. Your next mission? Putting the tools to work.
All right, so here are your concrete mission objectives for your next class. First, lean into small group work. Bring your mental model maps to the table and actually compare them with your classmates. Then, use the Feynman technique collaboratively. Let your peers help uncover your knowledge gaps and make sure to return the favor. This is exactly how you take ultimate ownership of your education.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought to spark your curiosity. What is the very first puzzle your team will solve? Look at the challenges ahead of you this week. Which subject desperately requires you to find that 20% core? Which topic needs a dynamic team to truly decode it? The tools for expert thinking are officially in your hands. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Now get out there, team up, think deep, and go conquer your next puzzle.